Have you ever picked up a handful of mixed nuts, thinking you're making a healthy choice? I get it. They look so innocent, right? Crunchy, satisfying, and packed with protein. But what if I told you that some of those healthy nuts might actually be slowly stealing your strength, damaging your heart, weakening your legs, and silently pushing you toward dependency? I know that sounds dramatic, but it's not a scare tactic. It's a warning backed by science and years of overlooked evidence. The truth is, for millions of seniors in America, that daily snack could be accelerating muscle loss, causing inflammation deep inside the body, and making it harder to walk, climb stairs, or even stay independent. And here's the twist. It's not the candy bars, not the soda. It's the nuts in your kitchen that no one warned you about. In this video, we're diving into the surprising truth about nuts. I'll show you 5 common nuts you should avoid at all costs, even though they've been marketed as healthy. And then, we'll reveal 5 powerful nuts you absolutely should eat every single day to protect your heart, sharpen your brain, and keep your legs moving strong. Because let's be real, no one wants to lose their independence just because of a snack they thought was healthy. So if you're over 50 or you care about someone who is, stay with me. This could be the one video that helps you make a simple change and keep your strength, dignity, and mobility far into your golden years. Let's get started. All right, let's talk about peanuts. You see them everywhere. In trail mix, in your kid's lunchbox, hidden in energy bars, and slathered on toast. They're cheap, convenient, and advertised as heart healthy. But here's the truth no one's telling you. Peanuts are not even real nuts. They're legumes grown underground. And that matters, because being underground exposes them to one of the most dangerous natural toxins we know, aflatoxins. These are mold-based poisons, and as we age, our bodies become less efficient at filtering them out. That means, while you might have eaten peanut butter your whole life with no issue, now, after 60, those same toxins could be slowly damaging your liver, immune system, and even increasing cancer risk, all without a single symptom at first. But that's just the beginning. Peanuts are loaded with omega-6 fatty acids, and that imbalance fuels chronic inflammation. We're talking stiff joints, aching legs, hardened arteries. That little snack, it could be why you're waking up sore, struggling to climb stairs, or feeling foggy in the head. And if you're on blood thinners, like many seniors, beware. Peanuts contain vitamin K, which can disrupt your medication, putting you at risk for either uncontrolled bleeding or dangerous blood clots. A few handfuls could tip that balance. Think peanut butter is safer? Not really. Most brands are full of hydrogenated oils, salt, and sugar, a heart attack cocktail that speeds up vascular aging and chips away at your brain clarity. So yes, that innocent-looking peanut might be sabotaging your strength, circulation, and independence one bite at a time. Don't let a cheap snack steal years from your life. Now, let's move on to another healthy favorite. Cashews. They look so elegant, right? Creamy, rich, a little luxurious. You might even feel like you're making a smart choice, especially if you're trying to cut out junk food. But here's the part nobody warns you about. Cashews are quietly robbing your bones. They're packed with something called oxalates, tiny natural compounds that love to bind to calcium inside your gut. Sounds harmless, but here's what that really means. The calcium you think you're getting from food or supplements, cashews may be blocking it from ever reaching your bones. And that's a big deal, because once you hit your 60s, bone strength starts dropping fast. If your calcium can't do its job, your hips, wrists, and legs become more fragile. One slip in the kitchen, that could be a broken hip, or worse, a loss of independence. And it gets worse. Cashews have a surprisingly high carb content. For a nut, that means they spike your blood sugar quickly, a hidden danger for seniors managing diabetes or prediabetes. These sugar spikes damage tiny blood vessels in your legs and feet, leading to poor circulation, slower healing, and even, in the worst cases, amputation. Still reaching for a handful? Think again, because cashews are also kidney stone factories. Those same oxalates can crystallize in your kidneys, forming sharp, painful stones. For anyone over 60, especially with reduced kidney function or chronic dehydration, that pain can escalate to a hospital stay fast. And here's something else most don't consider: the texture. Smooth and slippery cashews are a major choking risk for seniors with dry mouth or low chew strength. So while cashews may look innocent, even luxurious, they may be quietly robbing you of your calcium, your mobility, and your peace of mind. Now, here's a nut you probably never expected to be on the danger list: pine nuts. They're small. They're delicate. They show up sprinkled on fancy salads or blended into pesto. You wouldn't think twice, but for older adults, pine nuts can be a triple threat, especially to your brain, your legs, and your medication. Here's the shocking truth: pine nuts can interfere with nearly 60% of the most commonly prescribed medications. That includes blood pressure pills, statins, and even antidepressants, the very drugs many seniors rely on daily. The result? Unpredictable blood pressure, irregular heart rhythms, or worse, a life-threatening interaction that no doctor warned you about. Why? Because pine nuts have flown under the radar for decades. But that's just the start. Ever taken a bite of something and suddenly everything tastes like metal? That's a real condition called pine mouth syndrome, triggered by pine nuts. For days or even weeks, every meal tastes awful. You lose your appetite, eat less, and risk malnutrition. A serious issue for aging bodies already struggling to maintain energy and weight. It gets scarier. Pine nuts are loaded with polyunsaturated fats, which oxidize quickly, especially in warm storage. That oxidation releases toxic compounds that damage your brain, stiffen your joints, and clog arteries. The longer they sit in your pantry, the more dangerous they become. And don't forget the physical risk. Their tiny, slippery shape makes them a choking hazard, particularly for seniors with dry mouth or trouble swallowing, common challenges after 65. So next time you see that fancy garnish or gourmet trail mix, pause and remember, pine nuts might look refined, but they could be silently sabotaging your brain, your meds, and your strength. Let's move on to a nut that's often labeled as gourmet, but could secretly be working against your health: macadamia nuts. They're rich, buttery, luxurious. They're the kind of nut you find in premium snack mixes or fancy desserts, and they do have some healthy fats. But here's what the packaging doesn't tell you. Over 85% of the calories in macadamia nuts come from fat. Now, not all fat is bad, but when you're eating something so calorie-dense in such small portions, it's incredibly easy to go overboard. And for seniors with slower metabolisms, that means weight gain sneaks up fast, and with it comes higher cholesterol, stiff joints, and increased risk of heart disease. But that's not the only concern. Macadamias are very low in protein and fiber, unlike almonds or pistachios. And that matters, because as we age, we need more muscle support and digestive help, not less. Without fiber, you're more prone to constipation, sluggish digestion, and that bloated, heavy feeling that zaps your energy. And there's one more hidden danger: allergies. While peanut allergies get all the attention, macadamia nuts are also highly allergenic for some people, causing anything from skin reactions to dangerous inflammation. Seniors with weakened immune systems may be especially vulnerable, even if they've eaten these nuts safely in the past. So while macadamias might look like the elite choice, rich in taste and texture, they're also rich in fat, poor in muscle support, and potentially risky. They're not always the indulgence they seem to be. Now, let's talk about one of the most surprising entries on the do not eat list: Brazil nuts. They look harmless, big, crunchy, earthy. And if you've read any health blogs, you've probably seen them praised for being rich in selenium, a powerful mineral that supports the immune system, thyroid function, and even brain health. But here's the thing nobody tells you. Brazil nuts contain so much selenium, just 1 or 2 nuts can push you over the recommended daily limit. Yes, that tiny snack could quietly tip the scale from healthy to toxic, and long-term selenium overload isn't something to take lightly. It can lead to hair loss, brittle nails, persistent nausea, a strange metallic taste in your mouth, and even nerve damage that makes walking and balance harder with time. Now imagine that happening to someone over 60, whose kidneys are less efficient, whose metabolism is slower, and whose medication list is already complex. The risk multiplies. What makes Brazil nuts especially dangerous is how easy it is to overdo it. They're big, satisfying, and often included in mixed nut packs with no warning label. You don't feel the effects right away, but inside, your body might be accumulating toxic levels of selenium day after day. And unlike vitamin C or magnesium, your body can't flush selenium quickly. It builds up quietly until symptoms start showing. So while Brazil nuts can be helpful in micro amounts, they're not designed for daily snacking, especially not for seniors. Bottom line, a little goes a long way, and too much could take you down a road you never saw coming. Now, let's switch gears and talk about a nut that truly deserves its reputation: almonds. If there's one nut that should be a daily staple for older adults, this is it. Almonds are more than just a healthy snack. They are a quiet powerhouse, working behind the scenes to protect your bones, preserve your muscles, and sharpen your mind. First, let's talk about your bones. As we age, bone density drops, sometimes without warning, and one wrong step can mean a hip fracture or months of painful recovery. But almonds are rich in calcium and magnesium, 2 minerals that work together to keep your bones strong and your frame stable. Magnesium, in particular, ensures that calcium goes into your bones, not into your arteries. And while many nuts contain fat, almonds give you the right kind: healthy, monounsaturated fats that help lower LDL cholesterol and protect your heart from silent buildup and hardening. Now, let's talk mobility, because it's not just bones that matter. Almonds are loaded with plant-based protein and healthy fats, which support muscle strength, helping you keep up with daily tasks, walk with confidence, and even play with your grandkids without fear of falling. But they don't stop there. Almonds are also rich in fiber, which promotes smoother digestion and helps reduce the bloating and constipation that many seniors silently deal with. And hidden in that thin brown skin, a wealth of antioxidants, working quietly to protect your brain, support memory, and keep you mentally sharp. So, if you want a snack that strengthens your body and sharpens your mind, almonds aren't just a good choice, they're an essential one. Now take a good look at a walnut. Ever notice how it looks like a little brain? That's no coincidence, because when it comes to protecting your memory, your movement, and your mind, walnuts are one of nature's most brilliant designs. Let's start with the science. Walnuts are rich in ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid that helps keep brain cells flexible, connected, and strong. In a world where memory slips and mental fog become more common with age, ALA is your frontline defense, supporting clear thinking, faster recall, and sharper focus. But walnuts go even deeper. They're loaded with polyphenols, powerful antioxidants that are able to cross the blood-brain barrier. A rare trait. Once inside, they fight off inflammation in the brain's tissues, one of the silent drivers of dementia and cognitive decline. The result? A slower aging brain, and in many cases, a clearer, steadier mind, for years longer than expected. Now let's move from brain to body. Walnuts contain arginine, an amino acid that boosts blood flow, helping your muscles get the oxygen and nutrients they need to stay strong. That means better balance, fewer falls, and more energy for the things you love. And in the evenings, walnuts gently deliver a natural dose of melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep. That's critical, because as you age, restorative sleep becomes harder to get, yet more essential for healing and brain repair. So whether you're looking to stay sharp, walk steady, or rest deeply, walnuts are more than a snack. They're a long-term investment in your independence. And now, let's talk about the nut that brings both color and power to your plate: pistachios. They're small, they're vibrant, and let's be honest, they're just plain fun to eat. But don't let their playful look fool you. Pistachios pack one of the most powerful punches when it comes to heart health, circulation, and mobility. 3 things we must protect as we age. Here's what makes them so remarkable. Pistachios are naturally rich in potassium, the mineral your heart loves. It helps lower blood pressure, relaxes blood vessels, and improves overall circulation. And when blood flows better, everything improves. Your muscles work efficiently, your brain gets more oxygen, and your energy levels stay steady. But it doesn't stop there. Pistachios are also loaded with lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 powerful antioxidants that specifically target the eyes. These nutrients help protect the macula, the part of your eye responsible for sharp vision. That's critical because macular degeneration is one of the leading causes of blindness in seniors, and it creeps up silently. In other words, pistachios don't just keep you moving. They help you see clearly while you move. And here's a little bonus you may not expect. Because you have to crack each shell open, pistachios encourage mindful eating, helping you avoid overeating. That simple action also supports oral strength and fine motor coordination, which can quietly decline after age 60. So the next time you want a snack that's as delicious as it is medicinal, reach for pistachios. They're not just a treat. They're a symbol of what healthy aging can look like: colorful, strong, and full of life. Now, let's talk about a nut that's often overlooked, but might just be one of the most powerful allies in your fight against aging. Hazelnuts. Sure, they're best known for being blended into chocolate spreads, but when eaten in their natural form, hazelnuts are a brain-boosting, joint-supporting powerhouse, especially for those of us over 50. Let's start with what makes them truly stand out. Hazelnuts are packed with vitamin E, one of the most underrated antioxidants when it comes to protecting your brain cells from oxidative stress. You see, as we age, the brain becomes more vulnerable to damage from free radicals, unstable molecules that literally age our brain tissue. Vitamin E acts like a shield, preserving memory, reaction time, and even helping prevent the early onset of cognitive decline. But that's not all. Hazelnuts contain a unique blend of healthy monounsaturated fats and manganese, a mineral that's critical for joint health and metabolism. That means stronger knees, smoother movement, and more energy throughout your day, without the joint pain that makes simple tasks feel exhausting. Even better, studies show hazelnuts may help lower LDL cholesterol and reduce chronic inflammation, which quietly eats away at your heart, your arteries, and your joints. And unlike cashews or peanuts, hazelnuts are less likely to spike blood sugar, making them a safer, more stable snack for seniors managing diabetes or heart concerns. So next time you're reaching for a midday boost, skip the cookie or candy bar. Grab a handful of hazelnuts instead. You'll be feeding your brain, protecting your joints, and investing in long-term vitality. And finally, let's talk about a nut that most people forget. Yet it might be one of the most senior-friendly foods on earth, the chestnut. Now, chestnuts are a little different from your typical nut. They're low in fat, soft in texture, and they don't come packed with oils or dense calories. That might make them seem less powerful. But in reality, they offer a different kind of strength, a gentle, sustaining energy that's perfect for aging bodies. First, they're loaded with fiber and vitamin C, a rare combination for a nut. Fiber supports digestion, eases constipation, and helps regulate blood sugar, something every senior should care about. In vitamin C, it boosts immunity, fights off infection, and plays a key role in tissue repair, helping you heal faster and stay resilient. But what really makes chestnuts stand out is their role as a clean energy source. They're naturally high in complex carbohydrates, meaning they provide sustained energy without the blood sugar spikes that come from cookies, cakes, or even some fruits. That's especially helpful if you're feeling tired in the afternoons or struggling with stamina. And here's something most people don't realize. Chestnuts are gluten-free, very easy to digest, and when cooked, they become soft, making them ideal for those with aging teeth, jaw issues, or trouble chewing harder nuts like almonds or hazelnuts. So if you're looking for a warm, comforting, and nourishing snack, roasted chestnuts might be exactly what your body's been missing. They're not flashy, they're not trendy, but they are dependable, gentle, and packed with goodness, just like the kind of strength we all want to carry into our later years. Let me leave you with this powerful truth. Every bite you take is a decision, not just about taste, but about the life you're building for tomorrow. If you're still snacking on peanuts, cashews, or pine nuts, I urge you, stop. These may seem harmless, but the science is crystal clear. They're linked to inflammation, bone weakening, even dangerous drug interactions. For seniors or anyone concerned about long-term health, these aren't just nuts. They're a risk. But here's the good news. You have a better choice. Swap those risky nuts for almonds, walnuts, and pistachios. These are nature's protectors. They strengthen your bones, fuel your brain, and keep your heart ticking strong. They're small but mighty, and they make a difference. Because in the end, your independence, your energy, your clarity, they all come down to the tiny choices you make every single day. So ask yourself, are your habits honoring your future? If this video opened your eyes, don't just walk away. Do something. Hit that subscribe button right now and turn on the bell so you don't miss another critical health tip. And hey, I've prepared a special gift just for our loyal viewers. If you want our exclusive Healthy Senior Starter Pack with bonus tips and a free printable nutrition guide, send us a quick email at prettera666@gmail.com. It's 100% free and packed with value. Your health is worth it. Your future self will thank you.